Hey, welcome to Gutter Talk 101. My name is JR. Thank you for tuning in to the channel. Today we have a interesting topic, which is the 3 most common ways on cleaning your gutters. If you haven't, please subscribe, hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, you could drop it down in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer as quickly as possible, and if not, I'll make a separate video for answering your question. We're gonna start off by number 1, which is the old-fashioned way, which is cleaning your gutters by hand. This is a most traditional way to cleaning the gutters, and it's been the most oldest method in the gutter industries on cleaning your gutters. A lot of folks, a lot of gutter contractors, what they do is clean out your gutters by hand. That's either throwing it to the ground, throwing it in a bucket, throwing it in a bag. That all falls in that same category. Some customers like it, some don't. This is gonna fall into one of those categories that's gonna be a little bit more expensive versus the other options that I'm gonna talk about here after, later on. Options that's gonna do the less mess at cleaning out your gutters throughout the whole process. Most who are like me, that's a little heavy, that we usually don't clean the gutters from the roof. We are able to kind of pick up a lot of things that's happening with our gutters because we are constantly moving that ladder, and that'll give you a good opportunity to see if the water is standing. That gonna kind of let us know it needs realignment or reinforce on the gutter. So we get to notice a lot of things that's happening with our gutters on the gutters, on the ladders versus cleaning from the roof. Now the cons with cleaning your gutters by hand, obviously the number 1 is gonna consume the most time it's gonna consume the most time out of the other 2 options that we're gonna be speaking about throughout this video. Having that said, it is probably gonna be the most expensive method or cleaning process of your gutters, because you have to keep manually moving that ladder but you also have that cost if you are bagging all your debris or you using a bucket. But if you are a gutter contractor, obviously you are dumping that bucket somewhere, which hopefully should be within a garbage bag, or if you and the customer had agreed to dump that leaf somewhere on the property, then obviously you can save some cost there. But usually when you clean it by hand, you got these extra costs added to it. So this is why you kind of seen that doing the hand method is a little bit more expensive, and it's because you got those added costs to it associated with cleaning by hand. Now the second method is using a power wash. And this method is really a good option if you are already cleaning the home during that whole process. Let's say if you are a power wash company, or you just providing a power wash to the customer, you could kind of upsell and add that service to it. And if you are in that process, then obviously cleaning the gutters with the pressure wash is gonna make sense, and it's gonna save a whole lot more time than doing it by the option number 1, which is doing it by hand. Another instance where you want to use a power wash Power washer is when you have gutter guards where the opening is a little bit bigger, and if you have some minor debris that's inside the gutter guards, and if you have some debris on top, then yeah, obviously that option would be the best method, because you're gonna be able to clean you're gonna be able to clean a whole lot quicker, because with the pressure it's gonna clean the top debris or leaves that's on top of the gutter guard, but as well what's underneath. So you're gonna be able to do two things at once, versus if you were to unscrew or uninstall the gutter guard and kind of clean it by hand. That's would kind of take a whole lot more time than just using the power washer. Be in and out within probably an hour or less than an hour in that process. You can obviously damage the shingle, which is not a good thing to do, but you can also shoot water underneath that shingle, depending how low, how back that shingle is cut back. And if they don't have a drip edge, then you could potentially have water going underneath, which consequence can be and could cost you a little bit more money down the road. You could also damage the gutter. You could damage the fascia board, because if the fascia board, if it's exposing and if it's rotten, using that pressure wash, then obviously it's gonna do more damage to that fascia board. As well, if the paint is chipping off or is peeling off, then obviously you could further damage more on that fascia. Also, when you are using a pressure wash, you tend to make more mess, because once the power of that water, once it hits the inside of that gutter, all your debris, and if there's any water standing inside the gutter, then obviously all of that splashes out of the gutter, and it tends to stick onto the house or underneath the gutters, or covering the outside of the gutter or the exterior of the home, which is gonna make you work a little bit more, because now you gotta retouch those areas that has been infected, that been impacted with all those debris. So you gotta take a little bit more time trying to wash that away off from it. Obviously, with the cons, you're gonna save a whole lot of time when we compare the pressure wash with the traditional by hand. And the third and last common options is gonna use a blower. This is where you use a shop vac, a blower, the same blower that you use at blowing away your leaves at your landscape. That's the same blower that you will use on cleaning out your gutters. This might be the less expensive option to go by. Again, depending how the module of each company, how they price at. But in my case, I tend to quote using a blower a lot cheaper than a pressure wash, and a lot cheaper than scooping it by hand, just because it doesn't take much effort on cleaning out the gutters with a blower. If the roof is walkable, you could be done with your gutters within 5-10 minutes, the most, I would say. But even if the roof is not walkable, and if I had to use a ladder, it still would be a whole lot less than scooping it by hand. Because when I get up on the ladder and start to blow, blowing away, it's going to extend my ladder a good 15-20 feet. So I could save about 2 trips on moving that ladder onto the direction I want to be able to clean the gutters. The pros of using a blower, obviously time consuming is going to be a lot lower than all the other two options. But if you have roof valleys where leaves tend to stay in between with two roof where it meets, that would be ideally with a blower. So if there's any leaves that's stuck in your rooftop, then obviously a blower would be a game changer, because you're gonna be able to tackle fully with a leaf blower. Using a leaf blower as well wouldn't create much damage. Has a pressure washer, but if your gutters, if they are loose, you can potentially create more damage, because you could probably make that gutter come off completely because of that force of air. So you want to be kind of careful when you are using a blower. You want to do your assessment and make sure that a blower is going to be the best option on cleaning your gutters. Obviously, throughout these 3 common ways to cleaning your gutters, there's also there's different method on cleaning your gutters, as using a vacuum. I see that there's like this little robotic machine that goes inside your gutters and starts to kind of pile out your leaves. Hardly don't see much. Hardly you don't see that much in the market has a gutter contractor, and that has to do with the cost. But you can purchase that. You can purchase, and might make it easier for you to clean your gutters. Now, the difference when you are cleaning the gutters by hand, you must have ladders to be able to get on top of your roof. If you're going to walk throughout the roof and clean your gutters that way, that's where the difference comes in when using a pressure washer. There's some extension pole that you could connect to your pressure washer, and they have this U, kind of like a U hook. I'll kind of put a picture, kind of show you what I'm talking about. But there's attachments that you can use that you could clean your gutters from the ground that wouldn't require on using a ladders. Same way with a blower, they got some attachments to your blower that you can attach, and you could do it from the ground. Hopefully this video kind of help you navigate what's going to be the best option to have your gutters clean as a homeowner or as a contractor. Obviously there's more options out there, as using a shop vac or using one of those robotic machines that goes inside your gutters and it starts to make it through the gutters and clean it out. I haven't reviewed on both of those options, so I can't really tell you the pros and cons of those options, in the sense that I haven't tried it myself, and I'm not going to try to go by the manufacturer and, I'll tell you one thing and reality might be something else. If you found the video helpful, or I ask that you hit the like button, subscribe while you're at it if you haven't do so, and for those who have, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions, what topics you want me to talk about on this channel, and hopefully this is gonna help you save a lot of time and money when it comes to your gutters. Have a blessed day.